Hey, it's a video overview of a couple of HP thin clients we have with us today. This is the T5565, it's a much smaller version, and then we have here, this is a newer device. It's the 5565, and as you can see, it supports two monitors. It does only come with one DVI to VGA adapter. It does have a printer port on the back. We like the fact that they're still including the PS2 mouse and keyboards. Helps to free up some USB ports that we could use. Right now we got a USB mouse and keyboard plugged in and a network connection. And let's take a look at it. Just went ahead and booted it up, and you can see we got the control panel here and a connections page. And this thin client actually offers a couple of different modes, a kiosk mode, a desktop mode, and one of the things we like about it is the HP Thin Pro software that they come loaded with. That runs on top of a nice and secure Debian Linux package, so it's very secure. We also like that it's very extremely deployable and easy to maintain. And let me just go through some of that with you right now. In the control panel, you will find a thin state, which is very nice. There's a couple of different ways to import and export configurations and images, but the thin state, we like it. It's pretty simple and straight to the point. There's an HP Thin Pro. We just want to do just a configuration. An image would be nice if we're going to change customizable boot logos, things like that, sort of brand the thin client for that particular customer, in which case we haven't done that here, and it's just a configuration is all we're concerned about. You can just get everything configured like you want it, save the configuration, put in an FTP server, type in the host username and profile, and that's pretty much it. You're done. And when you fire up the new one, you can just go through the same choices, only restore, and put in the same. Again, we typically use an FTP server most of the time, but you can do a thumb drive or something like that as well. Pretty decent little device. It does support all your peripherals, such as printers and whatnot. We've got a printer set in here, just a network printer, and we've got set this particular ones going in a library. And we have some personalization. You can change the boot logo and whatnot. It's pretty nice, I guess. Screensaver. You can get to a command line window and do some more stuff in the Debian operating system. We just don't find ourselves having to do that anymore. In the previous versions of this, we often would find ourselves having to fall out to a command prompt to add internet browsers, things like that, whatever it didn't come with. We just don't really have to do that anymore. It's just as simple as just adding a new connection, and you can come down here to a web browser. I think in the past that was labeled Iceweasel, which is the name of the browser that's installed on these. This is a product made by Mozilla for thin clients. It's designed to be lightweight. And it's pretty simple. We've got an internet icon that we've set up here, and it fully supports Java and Flash. You can see this is a Java test page and a Flash as well. It's running, this particular one's running version 10 right now, but they definitely support other versions as well. The one thing I would point out, and we tried several different ways to make FIPS work with that. If you're running a FIPS encrypted terminal server, there's not really anything out there right now that runs on Linux at all that we're aware of that supports the FIPS encryption. It doesn't work. We read a few articles online and tried a few things, but nothing was successful. This is running RDP R desktop version 1.6, and to my knowledge it does not support FIPS. We got a terminal server already added in here. We're just going to hit connect and show you real quick what this is like. I'm just going to log in here real quick. So we logged in the terminal server, and of course from here we can get to everything we need to get to, Office, whatever our Office files are and whatnot. And most terminal servers don't allow internet surfing from them, in which case you can just hit Control-Alt-N, and it'll take you back to the thin client desktop, in which then you can start your internet connection, and you can toggle back and forth between the two. So that makes it pretty handy and convenient. Again, that's just Control, Alt, and N. Just toggle back and forth between the two. It does come with a really just a nice set of different ways to get connected. One of our favorites here is the VMware View. It's very nice. You can set it up to a VMware server and pull down a virtual machine, and it'll run on the thin client. And then what we like about it, especially for kiosks, libraries, things like that, hotel guest computers is another big bonus here. You can set these up to use that, and then in the VMware configuration tell it, hey, don't allow any changes to the VMware image, so they can tear it up, mess it up, do whatever they want to do to it, and as soon as someone logs off and logs back on, they're going to get a whole new fresh VMware virtual machine image to work from. So pretty bulletproof and resilient as far as that goes. Another great asset to these little thin clients is once you get them deployed, there's always something you may need to get back out there and do as far as overall maintenance is concerned. And one of the things that we like about them, and again, this is built in and it's not part of any command line, we didn't have to do any, this is right out of the box configuration. You can go in here and you can actually set this up to accept some VNC management from a nearby computer. And got a laptop sitting over here, it's on the same network, and got the virtual machine plugged in there. And it's going to come up and ask for some type of a session password, and you can choose to set this or not. That security is up to you. And you can get quick and simple access, remote control, to help that user out to add that new printer that they need added, or whatever you backed it up, back up the latest configuration, and then add it to the new replacement thin client. And one last thing I'd like to point out is these guys have 0 moving parts in them. There's no fans, there's no hard drives, so that means you can put one of these in and deploy it. We've got a lot of these out there that we haven't looked at again. 7 or 8 years later, they're still running, and they run just as fast as a terminal server that they log into. So that's another great feature, and a long-term, lot of longevity that goes along with them. And this has been the HP T5565 thin client.